with our friends. Life is good. Come on by and take a chair or lean on the rail. Let's have laughter and remember fun times on the front porch. Rob and Dave always had the light on for fellowship and making memories. We will try and make you stay the best it can be. Yes, life is good. Sometimes life gets in the way. It's hard to smile on the front porch. But our friends remind us we are still here and care. Yes, life is good. Southern fried porch ass sitting on the front porch on a Friday night with our friends. Life is good. Friday night is a front.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Front Porch Talking. I'm Rob. That's Elizabeth. That's Dave. That's Dog Tag. How you doing, Dog Tag?
I am doing great. And yourself?
Doing great. Congratulations on finishing your hike on the AT and doing it by the planned on date. We all saw that. You got a cheer from everybody here for completing your journey.
Well, thank you.
Hey, Dog Tag.
Hello, Miss Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm good. How are you feeling?
My knees hurt, my feet hurt, but I'm just glad to be done.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
I bet it's a little sad too, isn't it?
They have a thing called post-trail depression. I haven't seen it yet, but it's all good.
Amen, brother.
I bet as we get older, that post-trail depression becomes less and less.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well,
got a lot of great memories, man. I was thinking today of all the different things from the step off there in Georgia when you did the video and waved goodbye to the family, the tumble with the knee, the shoes going bad, you're walking things breaking, surgeries, and on and on, and you finally made it. That seems like a lifetime of memories in those few months.
yeah, it's been almost 7 months, so it's been a long journey, and as you say, a lot of memories. I've had to offload a lot of pictures and videos from my phone because it gets filled up. So I've got a hard drive that they're all stored on. Eventually, I'll go back and I want to redo my video with Jake's song. That will have all of the pictures from throughout the different states and some of my more memorable spots. So, but yeah, thanks for posting my panoramic of the three.
Yeah, we're going to put a few more up here in a minute. No, you're welcome. It's our honor. Thank you for keeping us a part of this great journey. You checked in with us, many live shows, kept us informed, gave us some laughs. We even got to share in your naked day. Not everybody gets to share a naked day with somebody. That's something
We're all
we'll
gonna
never.
try to do Naked Day next year.
Okay. We'll hold you to that, Rob.
I appreciate the spiritual aspects of the journey that you shared with me. It meant a lot to me, and I appreciate that. That's stuff I wouldn't have even heard about unless you had shared it. I did get to see the video and that stuff you were downloading. I got to see that the baptism again, and that's cool. But it's you've helped us or allowed us to be a part of it, and you didn't have to do that. From the bottom of our heart, I just say I appreciate it.
Well, I'm wearing the hat in your honor tonight. Normally I'd have my baseball hat on, but you kept saying that I look like a Civil War general, and
I love it, man.
The facial hair has definitely come in a lot more, and with the hat, I definitely can see the Civil War general.
if you put and I have a pair that I could give you. If you had the circular glasses on, and we could just put you in that uniform, you would definitely look like a Civil War general, Southern style.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because one of the trail angels that we've had just recently, his trail name is Sir Stops a Lot, and he comes out on the trail, and he's actually from North Carolina, but he starts in Georgia, and he moves up the entire length of the trail, and of course, most of the hikers are up in the northern part of the trail right now, and we were sitting having dinner with him the other night. He cooked us chicken and shrimp fajitas on the trail, and he told us that he's a Civil War reenactor, and we were talking about some of the stories, and just like I said, just the people you meet on the trail is just incredible.
Yeah.
So,
well, for somebody who is history buff or likes to go back to those battles, I mean, you crossed over so many battlefields in the journey. I mean, just about everywhere your foot stepped until you got past Pennsylvania, you were in Civil War battlefields. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it was definitely interesting. And what's been incredible about the journey is it's not just Civil War history that you come across, early American history. There's been several places where that we've seen it, more so up here in the northern, the New England states. You start seeing a lot of the early American history up here.
Yeah. So. Well, you get a sense of doing something like that, of what it must have been like before things were developed, and when they stepped out of some of those cliffs and looked out over a great expanse of what it must have felt like for them. You got a little taste of that, man. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Well, it's yesterday to stand on top of Katahdin and look out over Maine and kind of look back and see the 100-mile wilderness that we had walked through and all the lakes of Maine. Maine has become by far one of my more favorite states of the journey. Massachusetts is in the top, but Maine was incredible. The people of Maine, most of the states we went through, we were treated pretty nice. And then of course you go through some of what I'll call the highfalutin states. They look at us, and I think I've told you before, hikers become known as hiker trash. And some places you don't feel like hiker trash, and then other places you kind of really feel like hiker trash. So, but
are you talking about places they don't eat grits?
They don't what? Oh, don't eat grits. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got cream of wheat.
Yeah. Hey, I want to share. We're in a hotel room tonight, and there's a couple other of my hikers.
Hey, there he is again.
And here's Silverback. And I don't know if you can see the third back there is Ambassador. There's Ambassador, and so I don't know if I can hold the phone far enough away to get all of us in.
We see you. We see you.
Hey, right on, man. I heard your voice, man. I'm thinking, wow, I must be dreaming.
Who, mine? Or
Hey,
Miss Elizabeth?
it's been an incredible walk with this gentleman here.
Amen.
Oh,
Amen.
Amen. I
Hey,
bet.
we got while you're on there, we'll pull this up and we'll show that that picture because that was a great picture. Then we had I put up a few
Oh,
more that you had, Robert. Well, what is this?
Oh, yeah.
Now that one we have to explain. That is the night we were coming off of Katahdin.
Yeah.
And you can imagine if the sun is going down, being that high up in elevation is not the best place.
No. And,
So
and I just mentioned to him, I said, hey, it'd be a great sunrise out there. He says, I don't want to look at the sunrise.
I wanted to be back. I wanted to be back at the car, and be done. But we had to do some pretty nasty rock scrambling coming off of Katahdin
in the dark.
And we knew that there were some hikers behind us. I gave one of them my headlamp because I thought when we saw the sign, it said 2.4 miles to where we had parked the car. And, we thought 2.4, we can be down there in a couple hours.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
We started down at about 4 o'clock. About 4 o'clock, 3:30, we left actually the top of Katahdin. And we didn't get to the car until 10 o'clock that night, last night.
wow.
Oh, wow.
So
8 o'clock for me.
Yeah, well, he got down much quicker.
I know it. I didn't have a lamp. I was trying to make it.
He was trying to get down before the sun went down, but my knees don't hold. Even though he's older than me, my knees don't hold up haven't held up as well.
I look better than him too, don't I?
So, but that's a beautiful sunrise from just below Mount Katahdin when sunset. Excuse me.
He's just more well preserved.
Yeah,
I just been in the jar longer, man.
Now, those are some of the rock scrambles that we were going up at that point. But if you can imagine trying to come down those and not being able to really see where it is. At the top of that picture, you see Silverback standing up there on the ledge, and at some points you had to help other people up there because they just weren't going to be able to do it by themselves.
Wow.
And it's hard to get a really good perspective of how difficult that is. But I will tell you, climbing Katahdin was by far the hardest thing that I did on the Appalachian Trail, and I think most of them will agree with you there. That is the famous Katahdin sign at the top of the mountain, and that's me holding the dog tags. So
I took the picture.
Yep.
Not that.
And there's Silverback himself with me. I'm standing at the top of Katahdin at the famous sign. So
that is awesome.
So.
Hey, there we are.
And then that's all the veterans that were there at the time. And Ambassador is a veteran as well. And he was part of that group. We actually had more veterans up there, but because it was getting late in the day and you can see those nasty clouds in the background.
It was cold.
It was cold, windy, and some of the vets wanted to head down, and so they didn't all stay there until I got there because I was one of the last ones up the hill. So, but yeah, that's just a small touch of just what we did yesterday at Katahdin. So,
is it like climbing Mount Everest? You got people waiting to get up there to that sign.
Well, it's funny because Ambassador he came in. He went and took one of the hikers back to town last night when we got back off of the trail. And when you come into Baxter State Park in the morning, there's this line of people waiting to come into Baxter State Park just to go up Mount Katahdin. We had a campground, so we had, you had kind of a pass to go, you didn't have to, but he said there must have been 30 or 40 cars waiting for the ranger station to open up and let them go through the gate. So yeah, it's kind of like that. But then also when you're climbing the mountain and you're going through some of those rock scrambles, it is kind of like an Everest trip, where you got all these hikers one behind the other trying to get through some of because there's, they have the infamous white blaze that's supposed to lead you up the mountain.
If you can find them.
Yeah, if you can find them, or they aren't necessarily the easiest routes, you know. So, and some people who had shorter legs would have a harder time getting up some of the higher ledges. And then those of us that had long legs, sometimes when you had these little nooks that you're trying to crawl through, the longer or taller bodies sometimes made it pretty rough. So, but it's by far was one of the greatest journeys up that mountain that I'd had. Even though, you know, I told you guys before about type 2 fun. Yesterday was definitely a type 2 day where you were hating most of it, but then once you got to the top, man, it was all worth it.
Oh, it's beautiful up there. And we happened to pass up. We happened to get passed by a young lady.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning of our walk, going up.
No, we were coming down just before that sunset picture.
Right.
There was a young lady. She was 26.
Yeah.
She was literally running up the trail that we're going down, and Silverback and I are working our way down through these rocks.
Slow.
It's very slow because, you know, I mean,
they don't want to break nothing.
Yeah. And this young lady comes passing us, and she's almost, you know, she's running.
Yeah.
And we go, "Are you going to the top?" And I mean, it was 4 or 4:30, and we're thinking, if you're just now going to the top, you're going to be coming down the dark.
Yeah.
She goes, "Yeah, I'm going to the top." So then we continue on down the mountain, and probably about 45 minutes later, we had maybe gone 2/10 of a mile down this rock scramble. I mentioned to Silverback, I says, you know, what would be demoralizing is to have that young lady come pass us up on the way down the mountain. And no sooner did I say that,
she popped up.
I turned around and here she comes down the mountain. I go, "Have you already been to the top of this thing?" And she goes, "Yeah."
No, she said, "Can I get by you?"
Well, I asked her first if she had already been to the top. She said yes. And she goes, "Can I get by you?" And I won't tell you exactly what I said to her.
You said, "Little bird."
Yeah, but I said basically, F no, you can't get by me. You're making me feel really old when you've been to the top and been back in 45 minutes.
And I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah. So, and we found out she's an ultra, I guess they call her an ultra athlete. She's trying to break some kind of record, but she was probably down having dinner or, you know, before it got dark. Just to watch her just bounce down this mountain was just like, why can't I do that? You know? Yeah, exactly.
I bet she was from Georgia. And not only did
maybe she was, maybe she'd been eating a lot of your cornbread, you know, and all that good stuff. So
no, she bounded down the mountain, went to her hotel, got her a shower, got in her car, and drove back home to Georgia before y'all made it down.
Well, you know, it was funny because Ambassador was down the bottom. He had already gone down the mountain. He had gone down the mountain because he's much faster. And Ambassador was down there when she got there, and running to the top of Katahdin wasn't enough. She had to run from the parking area to like the ranger station, right? She continued to run, and I'm like, holy moly, this is incredible. But
I'd be the guy over there with the oxygen on, like I was going up Everest.
Yeah, you know, it kind of, well, I won't say the elevation's not that high in comparison. I mean, it's 6,000 foot, Katahdin, almost 6,000 feet. So it's not really where you feel like you have the need for oxygen. But, you know, if you're out of shape, it was funny because one of the guys that has been doing trail magic for a lot of the hikers, and he supports one of the hikers on the trail, and he's a former thru hiker, he decides, I'm going to go climb Katahdin. Well, he hadn't hiked all year long, and he climbed to the top of Katahdin, and he was definitely feeling it yesterday. Yesterday, he was definitely feeling it. So,
well, he had a girlfriend, so
yeah. Well,
gotta follow the girl up.
He's been supporting a girlfriend on the trail, and you know, he decided, he decided he was going to go climb Katahdin the last day, and
nice guy.
we had breakfast with them this morning in Millinocket at the Appalachian Trail Diner, which is a pretty cool place. They have the ceiling tiles there in the restaurant that from each year they have the hikers sign the ceiling tiles. And so it's kind of cool, you know, to be part of that, to be able to get your name on a ceiling tile. And, you know, next year your name will be up in the ceilings at the Appalachian Trail Diner in Millinocket. So
I got a question for you guys.
yes.
So when are you guys going to walk it, or have you already?
I have never walked it.
I
I
did not
never walked
walk it, honey.
Oh, come on, Miss Elizabeth. You got there's the trails through Georgia.
That's right.
And don't you live in Atlanta or somewhere close to
Oh,
Atlanta?
no, honey, I'm back in North Georgia.
North Georgia. Okay.
Ah. Well, the trail will be there. It won't change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We probably need
I've got a,
Portburg.
we probably need 3
I've got a
wheelchairs
blown out
and 3
back of epilepsy.
Sherpas to help us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what, I could have used the Sherpa
Right.
towards the end. So, but yeah. I mean, one of the nice things that happened yesterday, and I don't know if I mentioned this, one of the dog tags that I was carrying was for a lady that I met on the trail down in North Carolina. And her nephew was a sheriff's deputy that committed suicide on the job. And they drove up from North Carolina, and these two ladies, both in their mid 60s,
66, 65.
they hiked to the top of Katahdin with us. So in that picture of Silverback where he's up on the ledge, he's helping one of those ladies up that very interesting spot,
It
you
was.
know,
It was
because you just
I'm 5'2". I couldn't make it up those rocks.
no, sure you could.
You get Dave to help you. You could.
Yeah, all you got to do is get behind and just give a little push on the tush.
Yeah, Dave can push you
I'm
on the
too
tush. You
curvy
can
for
push me
that.
on the tush. Hey, look, you can push me on the tush. Dave can push you on the tush, and we just go right on the
I'm too curvy for that.
Yeah, no, there were some ladies that were coming up the trail. We had a young lady in our group, Mosey. She's probably, I'm going to say 5'3", 5'4".
Yeah.
She's not very tall. If you couldn't step up there, you basically had to pull yourself up some of those spots. So, you know, the thing about the Appalachian Trail, when you're walking it, your lower body really, you develop your trail legs, but the only thing you work on your arms is if you're walking with poles. So you really don't develop a whole lot of upper body strength. But the last 2 states, New Hampshire and Maine, you definitely start using that upper body strength because you're pulling yourself up through rocks and getting some pretty precarious spots.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well,
You may have answered
talking
this
about that
before.
young lady. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
To our young Georgia lady that runs up the trail and runs down.
Yes. That reminded me of my one-time snow skiing. That guy was going to show me how to do it. We go up there and he takes off down the mountain. And he said, just point your skis down and push and go. And that's what I did. I immediately started rolling. And there was this 12-year-old
There's been hikers on the trail that tell me I could move a lot faster if I just leaned forward onto the trail. And I go, if I start leaning forward, I'll be faster for about the first 10 yards. And then after that, I'll be face planting in the ground.
Yeah. Well, this little 12-year-old kid was skiing circles around me, laughing at me. Because every time I would get up, I would start tumbling again. If I could have caught that little sucker, I'd have wrung his neck. But he was perfectly safe, and he knew it. And he laughed at me all the way down that mountain. We had like 20, 30 yards to go. And he said, see you later. And he was gone. I never saw him again. But he laughed at me. And
that's kind of how I feel about a lot of it. Because I'm usually the last one down every day. So last night I was not, because Steady, who is in our tramily, her fiance and her sister came to hike with us to the summit. And of course, they didn't have their trail legs. and they got there just after 4 o'clock, and we were already headed down when they came. But they walked into the car spot about 10 minutes after I got there. We were coming down that trail with not a whole lot of light, and because I had given my headlamp to one of those young ladies, I was using my cell phone flashlight to get me down the mountain. And try to walk with 2 poles in your hand and your cell phone with your light facing down, stepping through some of these rocks and roots, and it was pretty interesting.
It was.
So,
well, we know it was the last day.
yeah,
And all we had to do is get to the parking lot.
just wanted to get to the parking lot.
And if you fall, it really is the last day.
Well, if you fell, you can at least say that you completed the journey, because
Exactly.
the trip down wasn't part of the journey. It was just to get back home. So yeah.
But all of them,
Barry said you ought to use a switch on their tush. That would help them get up the mountain, I think.
They do what?
Use a switch on their tush.
Oh yeah. Well, they could probably do that to me. So
it's called Mexican food. Just it'll blow you right up the hill.
we were talking about that one time on the trail where we had beans or something at one of the hostels or something, and we were both having gas. And we said, man, if we could just find a way to use this to propel us up the hill, it would have been nice. So,
Dog tag. Jake
yes, ma'am.
wants to know if your hiking buddies has heard your song that he wrote for you.
Have they heard my song?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And really, what I'd love to do is I'd love Jake to hear touch base with Silverback, because he's got an incredible story. You guys could probably do a great interview with just him, because he's hiked across the United States from where we are today. We are in Portland, Maine, is where he started his journey, and he ended in San Diego, California.
Yes.
Wow.
And he did it all to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And he wrote a book about it. And everybody keeps saying my journey's been incredible. But the opportunity to have hiked with him and hear his stories has been incredible. Ambassador, he's from down south. He's a Floridian.
Yes.
But he was born in you grew up in Washington, D.C., right? So tomorrow we're driving them to Washington, D.C., and he's going to go and spend some time with his family. But he's a 20-plus Army vet. He retired as a major from the Army, and Silverback, he did 20-plus with the 22 in the Army and the Army Reserves. He also worked for the U.S. Postal Service. So all you postal workers, what a great way to, instead of just walking the neighborhood, you can get out on the trail.
Hallelujah.
So
well, thank you.
Yeah, everybody has an interesting story out here on the trail, and
get us the info. We definitely want him on. Yeah, anybody.
Okay.
We'd like to hear stories.
Oh, to hear, I've been in, I think you guys know I've adopted 6 kids, and 4 of my kids are African-American mixed race. And when the story how we all 3 got together, I met Ambassador way down, I think, in North Carolina, and we were talking briefly, and that's usually the way that I was hiking, because I would often hike south and they would hike north, and I'd pass them and we'd talk for a few minutes. And they were always interested in the fact that when I would tell them that I'm a no-bower, which northbound hiker, they go, wait a minute, you're hiking the wrong direction if you're headed south. And so Ambassador was talking to me, and he was saying that he was trying to track the number of African Americans that were on the trail, because usually it's a very low number.
Yeah.
And so I took his number, and because I had told him I had run into another guy by the name of Silverback who was on the trail, and he didn't know about Silverback. So I said, well, I'll send you his number. And so I sent Ambassador Silverback's phone number, because I had gotten Silverback's phone number because he told in that same area in North Carolina somewhere. People had told me, hey, there's this guy walking the trail. He's raising funds for his autistic grandchild. And I go, man, I'd love to talk with him. And then when I met him and found out he was African-American, I told Ambassador, when I heard that Silverback had gotten hurt on the trail and was not able to walk, and he says, can you reach out to him and see if you can help him? Because that was at the time when I was still rehabbing from my surgery. And so I kind of selfishly said, here's an opportunity for me to walk with a black man and maybe understand more of their culture. And so that was part of the reason that I wanted to have him in my group. But the bigger reason is I just didn't want him to quit.
That was running through my mind.
And he was very close to quitting at the point, because he could not carry his pack. Basically what had happened is he was carrying an ultralight pack. And those packs are designed for carrying ultralight stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, probably no more than 20 to 25 pounds would be the max weight that you should carry in an ultralight pack. Well, he was probably carrying 35, maybe closer to 40 on when he had all of his food in there. And so because of the pack straps aren't designed for that heavier weight, the friction on his shoulders created a 2nd-degree burn on his shoulder.
Yes.
Oh.
And yeah, it was pretty bad. And so Ambassador asked me to reach out to him. I reached out to him because Ambassador had said, hey, he needs to go to a hospital. And so I called him, and I took him to a VA hospital. And the VA said he had been doing a good job of keeping it clean, but the only way it was going to heal is not carry a backpack. And so he kept walking with us, and each day he would do kind of what I was doing, which was we'd walk out and walk back
with a
fanny pack. He didn't have anything on his back, but he carried everything on his waist. And we did that from New York to Maine.
Fort Jarvis, New York.
Yeah. So,
wow.
And so Ambassador has his family was hiking in and around us for a long time. I mean, probably way before New York. It's just his group. He wanted I don't know if we think, and we can't prove it because there's no written documentation anywhere, but we believe that Silverback is the oldest African-American to finish the trail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
To do it as a through hike.
Oh, wow.
So we had been trying to get other African-American males, there is one female that was finished on the trail. Her name was High Viz, and we were trying to get them all together and summit on the same day. But unfortunately, just these two gentlemen summited the same day. The other two that we knew of, they summited earlier this week, or one of them summited earlier the week, and then the female, she summited back in August. Yeah. So, but they were, it's just, as we said, you don't see a lot of minorities on the trail. And one of the things that I've been encouraging Silverback to do is to get with, there's a gentleman that does a podcast that's specific for the Appalachian Trail. And I listen to him often. And I'm going to encourage him to consider maybe asking Silverback to do a channel that would be specific about encouraging minorities to come out and hike on the trail.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how did Ambassador get his name? I love that name.
Ambassador get his name?
Yeah.
He wants to know how you got your name.
Well, when I got the Springer, I'm very social and energetic. So as people were coming in, I'm introducing myself. I'm asking them about who they are and where they're from and things of that nature. And I kept on doing it all night. And then somebody was like, you know what? Your name should be Ambassador because you're talking to everybody. So, and it kind of stuck. So I guess ambassador of goodwill and people. So
I
it
like
kind of
it.
stuck with me
Which part
throughout
of
the trip.
Florida are you from?
What was your question,
Florida
Rob?
are you from? What part
What,
of
where in
Florida? Are
Florida?
you from?
He's from Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, you're not that far. You just crossed the state from me.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm right there
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
down
border,
here.
right by the airport.
You know where the Redneck Riviera, Panama City is?
Oh, I do know it, yeah.
Riviera.
I do.
You ever make it over there?
What did you call that? The Redneck Riviera?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you ever been over?
Maybe one day you can explain that, but is that where all rednecks go that are poor, but they want to live a high lifestyle?
Just
Yeah.
old white men.
Oh, old white men.
Yeah, old,
Unless
old,
it's-
overweight white men.
Unless it's spring break.
Yeah, unless it's spring break.
Do you ever go over to that side? Because I'd love to meet you. We make trips down to Panama City. I'm close enough. We can make a day trip. Do you ever? We
Do
do
that. I can
snorkeling and
definitely,
stuff like that.
like you said, I'm retired military, so I can go when I want to go.
Yeah.
And you know what? Today he was doing some, our work never ends. Today we were in, what was Wissacassett, Maine. He's a college graduate, was part of a fraternity, and one of the fraternity brothers that he had, the city that we were in, they posted it. They created a sign to honor one of his brothers that was killed by a train in a train crash back in the 30s. And so somebody down in Florida knew the ambassador was going to be up here, and they said, "Hey, will you go meet with this council person in this small little town and take some pictures of the sign?" And so we did that. And unbeknownst to us, when we got there, the councilwoman took us down to we met her down by the the harbor area, and she bought us all lobster rolls. And yeah, it was very, very good.
And with shakes.
Yes. Oh, and strawberry shakes. Silverback is a milk connoisseur.
Don't believe him. Don't believe him.
Every town we went in, and we'd say, "Hey, is there anything you need?" You know what would come out of this? "Hey, if you can give me a milk, I'd appreciate it." And then when we'd go into places that had ice cream or shakes, it was always a strawberry shake. So
Now I've heard that y'all are up there on that trail that ice cream and milkshakes are a necessity.
Oh, it is. And like I said, we were part. Now, Ambassador wasn't part of the ice cream Tramley family, but Silverback quickly learned the second night he was with us not to criticize ice cream. Because he made the comment. He goes, "Don't you guys ever feel guilty about eating all this ice cream?" And the crew, if they could have shot him dead, they would have shot him dead that second night. And they go, "You obviously don't want to be part of this Tramley." And he goes,
"No, this is a test, and you guys answered it correctly."
Yes.
Hey, I want to know if Ambassador and Silverback did Naked Day too. We got to know.
They want to know if you guys did Naked Day at the June 20th.
I didn't post that yet. You'll see it. I got to shave a little bit up there, man.
I'm gonna go up there on the trail for the next Naked Day, and I'll post it anyway. It'll be a short video, but I'll do it.
You know, Dave, it's not the naked part that gets all of his attention. We were standing there. We met this young lady on the trail the other day, and I gave her a trail name. But while I was talking to her, these three other women come up, and they see Silverback, and you know the first comment out of their mouth was, "Boy, you have big shoes."
Yeah, they're 14.
And so
You know what
of course,
they say.
I had been teasing him about it the whole time, you know, and I said, you know, when I notice when the women come up to us, they're always looking down at your shoes,
I never
you know? So,
And look, that's when you look back at them and say, well, you know what that means.
yes, ma'am. He
And
doesn't
they say,
I
what?
wear big
It just
socks.
means big feet.
That's all.
Yes, Miss Elizabeth, that is the whole thing that we've been implying with this all is the fact that, you know, they don't look at, you know, his silver hair and his face. They look down and see his shoes. Holy, you got big shoes. So,
Yeah. He says, you know what that means? When I hang a sock on the doorknob, it pulls it off.
we were just talking about that today, Rob, man. It was so funny. We were just talking about that today.
The sock on the door, red like this.
That movie, we were talking about the movie where they talked about the sock on the door, you know, the road with Glory Road, the basketball team.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Absolutely.
yeah.
There was also there was a part two. I was sitting at a shelter and two ladies came up
Oh.
and they were like, "Hey, you know, is your dad with you?"
The lady thought that Silverback was Ambassador's dad. So
I was like, "Wait, I'm almost 50 years old."
So we've been joking with him, Pops, you know, calling him Pops, you know, the old man.
All good. It is all
You
good.
should have claimed it. You should
What?
have claimed him as your dad from then on.
Uh,
I'd have had everybody, if I'd have been you, I'd have had everybody on that trail convinced he was my dad.
I know, man. That's right. Big Papa.
Yeah.
I'd have called him
You
Pop
got-
Pop from then on.
You guys deserve a lot of credit. And so what's
Yes.
next? Like, is this it? Or are you
Well,
going to
no, not for this knucklehead right here. He's leaving here. He's going to go from Washington, D.C. to New Mexico, where his son lives, and he's going to start the CDT this year.
Just as long as I can.
Until winter sets in that he can't hike anymore. But the CDT starts in the southern part of New Mexico
Yes.
and goes all the way to Canada, and he wants to hike that next year.
I want to be a triple crowner
Yeah.
at one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
A triple
Hey.
crowner being that it's the three long trails of America, the CDT and then the PCT.
Hey,
Before
feel free
I
to
turn
check
70.
in with us. We want to hear about that trip.
Yes.
You will.
There you go.
You will.
Hey,
It's a way
for both
different
of y'all,
trail than the
you
AT
and
though.
Yes. High desert.
For
So,
you,
Ambassador,
and Dog Tag,
he's
got
a future
Dog Tag.
politician in society. We
Yes.
said that he's going to be president one day, and
Okay.
he's got a big mission to go back to the Jacksonville area, and he wants to try and create some programs for inner city kids and other young kids. He just wants to be a good example for them, but at the same time,
Hey, look. That email right here that's going across on this ticker down here, Ambassador Silverback. We've got Dog Tag's information. If
Okay.
y'all send your email information to that email address, so we can get back with you.
Sounds good.
Look, we'll help you advertise, Ambassador. We'll help you get the word out as much as we can about your programs that you're doing and such as that. And we want to have both of y'all on the show.
I definitely appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
and I don't know if Jake's listening tonight, but I'd love for Jake to write a song about about Silverback and his journey across this country and what he's doing on the AT. His hike across America, he wrote a book. So if you have any interest in reading the book,
Out for a Walk
Out for a Walk
by Anthony Roddy.
And it's a great story. And just
You should enjoy it.
he makes me laugh sometimes when he
Yeah,
tells me
same
some
way.
of the stories of his journey across this country. He pushed I'm sure you know what, like a bicycle cart that you pull behind a bicycle.
Right.
He reversed it and he pushed it, and his cart's name was
Esmeralda.
And he pushed Esmeralda all the way across the country.
That's right.
And to hear some of his stories, we were driving through an area where they had a picture of the Amish carts,
Yeah.
where the horse and the cart. He tells a story that he was hiking in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And he was this road like this, and he could see this cart coming down the road towards him. And he was walking against traffic, like most people should when they're walking.
With his cart, though.
But the horse is coming down his way, and they got to a point where they met, and he was not going to give way to the horse.
I'm not going to move. He's going to go around me. So we stood there. And his horse is getting anxious, like, argh. And the guy, he's not moving. He's just looking at me. And all of a sudden, he goes around me. But how he was dressed with this leather windbreaker thing in front of him, he had his hands out to steer the horse. And all I could see was his eyes and the top hat. And I started laughing. It probably made him mad. It was funny looking to me. But he eventually went around me, but he mumbled something, and I don't know if it was have a good day or what it was. And I continued on.
But you guys know the show Heat of the Night, right? You guys are Southerners, right?
Oh, yeah.
He had a story when he was in Vermont that he went into some grocery store and he came out and there's these two police officers walking around Esmeralda. And he said one of them looked like Bubba from the Heat of the Night show. Sleeves all rolled up and everything. And here comes this black man walking out of a store, and they go, "We hear you have a baby in your cart." Right. And so I'll let him tell a story because it makes me laugh.
Yeah, he eventually just said, "Okay, have a good day, man."
Well, no, you said that one of the officers had a name tag of Frank,
I said, Frank,
and he started talking to Frank.
You believe I got a baby in here, man? Walk across America, Make-A-Wish Foundation. He says, "No, it looks like you're really doing something." But his friend Bubba, well, I'm saying Bubba.
Yeah, we call him Bubba because he looked like Bubba.
He stood there with his arms folded, with this wad of stuff in his mouth, and he just mean dogged me and stared me down the whole time. Didn't say one word. And I was so glad I was talking to Frank. But it worked out.
But the thing is that's been incredible is we've had similar stories up and down this AT.
Yeah.
The people meeting the people in different communities, and
people. It really is.
It is one of the greatest experiences. Me personally, other than carrying the dog tags the whole journey, the thing that I got the most from the journey was meeting different people from different cities, different states, the people on the trail. When we're standing at Katahdin yesterday, there were all these day hikers up there, and they were just amazed that we had hiked 2,200 miles from Georgia to Maine to get there. And they were just like, "Are you guys hiked that whole distance?"
Yeah.
And, it's just been interesting. One of the vets that we hiked with up there, his name was Momentous. He got up on top of Katahdin. He had been setting his alarm clock on his phone. Every hour he would stop wherever he was at on the trail and he'd do push-ups. He had a goal of getting to Katahdin. He wanted to try to get 100 push-ups. He did 80 in 2 minutes. He did
63
at the top of Katahdin. He was 63 years old. He was an Army vet, and he also is a retired police officer. So just, it was just incredible people, incredible things that people do, along the trail. And, the lady we had lunch with today, she asked us, "Are you all going to write a book?" And I imagine every person who walks the trail could probably put a book together with all of their adventures. And, it's just
the only
just
thing I feel
incredible.
sorry for you for, Dog Tag.
Say again?
Is the only thing I feel sorry about for you is your honeydew list must be real long by now.
It's funny that you say that because my wife had texted me a couple times the last couple days, and I've been trying to call her, and I would always go to voicemail. Well, then today she finally got through to me. We have a pecan tree in our backyard that was coming down. So she had to hire a tree arborist or whatever, somebody to cut a tree down. And the guy says, "Do you want me to haul all the wood away?" And she said, "No, my husband will cut it up and we'll use it as firewood." So I have this huge pecan tree in the back of my garage he dropped behind the back of my garage that I will probably spend, a while cutting it up into firewood, so it can start to dry for the next season. So, but yeah, I'm sure all of us. I mean,
I'm single.
Silver, he's got no honeydew list, but
I'm still walking.
Yeah. So, and Ambassador, I'm sure he's got a big list too of everybody. So,
well, Silverback's out there. He's got more women to see so they can admire his shoes. I mean,
yes, sir, he does.
He's got no time to be married.
It's been funny because walking with him, and you come across all these women. It's usually, "Are you married? Are you married? How old are you?" And the age doesn't matter for him, so.
Yeah. I just had the most horrible thought, Silverback.
What was that?
With your feet being as large as they are, aren't you worried about a female Sasquatch finding you and running you down? I was worried about it for dog tag.
Speaking of which,
I hope you got a retirement plan.
Speaking of which, Rob, I have you a T-shirt that I need your address. It's a Sasquatch T-shirt from Maine.
Uh-oh.
Because you talk about them all the time. I know you're a believer. I saw that shirt. I said, "Oh, I've got to get this shirt for Rob."
He's a believer, huh?
Yeah, he's a believer. So I will, just like I mailed Dave his shirt. I've got you a Sasquatch shirt, Miss Elizabeth. I'll have to figure something out for you. But
so, Miss Elizabeth, where are you from?
She wants Silverback's number. That's what she wants.
Georgia. What did he say?
I just want a number.
Yeah, he is single. Miss Elizabeth, you're single too. And the last show that I watched, I remember you talking about, what was it? Your son says it had to be a certain age. I think he meets the age requirement.
Wait a minute.
My daughter said I can't date anybody younger than my son-in-law.
Yeah, well, I think your son-in-law, there's no way your son-in-law is over 60, so.
Oh, no.
Are you opposed to dating older men?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
My ex-husband was 10 years older than I am.
So everybody's from Georgia there, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm in South.
That's why it's called Southern Fried Vodka.
Oh, I didn't know if they were from Georgia, Alabama, mixed up, Mississippi. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to live in North Georgia, then I moved back to South Georgia.
Hey, you lived in Alabama for a while too, buddy.
Yeah.
Talk about some college
You
football.
don't know what they say about Alabama.
Well, Dave over there, if you look in his room, he's a big Georgia fan.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's got a lot of Georgia stuff, so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any of that kind of stuff in my room.
Yeah. There you go.
And
We are
dog tag.
fans.
Jake
Yes, ma'am.
said, if you will just give them his email, that would be good. That he could,
Okay.
write up any kind of songs or whatever for them.
He'll probably have a song done before this show's over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he's an incredible kid. I tell you, Jake just.
I heard about it.
I tell you what, that song has made several people cry on the trail.
I was the first. Well, second, probably.
And one of the ladies, it's the mother of one of the young kids that I'm carrying a dog tag for. She sent me, somebody did a song for her about her son and about the fact that I'm carrying a dog tag for him up the trail. So I've been working on trying to do a video with that song as well. It's called Kyle's Trail. And, but it's just, the stories that we've been carrying on our back are incredible. Sour Patch is the other hiker that helped me carry him up the trail. One of the dog tags that he and I carried was one of his troops when he was overseas. The young man committed suicide, and so dog tag. We've been carrying a dog tag for him, and so it's just been incredible.
Also, and I don't know if Silverback and Ambassador knows this, but you're carrying a dog tag for my father as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. Yeah, because one of the dog tags we're carrying is for Rob's dad.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was a Vietnam vet. Vietnam vet, isn't that right, Rob?
Yes, that is
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
He was in Vietnam, and he committed suicide about 7 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
So it's it's kind of been. I've been right there with dog tag Harris. He's made this walk, and that's
Right on.
been something special for me. And I really appreciate it.
Silverback just said you guys need trail
We're
names.
gonna give you guys trail
we need
names.
to need to think of some trail names for you guys.
All for you there. These
Oh.
trail names.
Now understand you have the right to refuse.
You do.
And, that if you do not like the name, you can refuse it, and you can.
Hey, you got a haircut like mine?
What do you want to be called, Mr. Clean?
Yeah.
Or Baldy?
No, I want to be called Goldilocks.
Goldilocks.
Not bad. Uh-oh. Elizabeth fell out of her chair laughing so hard. Goldilocks. There you go. You got it then.
Well,
All right, how about that?
hey,
We got one.
I'm gonna have to get up there.
you need to change the name down there at the bottom where it says Rob for Grits Man. You need to change that to Goldilocks.
Hey, Rob, have you ever had fried grits?
Yes.
I have too. When I walked
I
in
have had
2015, I had a couple from Texas cook me some
Yeah.
fried grits, man. As my first and last time ever having.
They swear that Georgia has the best cornbread,
Oh, really?
out there.
Well, it depends on who cooks it.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
So, Miss Elizabeth, have you done any research on your cruise thing yet?
Oh, yes.
We're still.
Yeah. We're hoping.
Yes.
next
Oh,
Where's
so
the
y'all
cruise
going on
going?
the cruise?
To Alaska.
Alaska.
We're going to Alaska? Okay.
Yeah. Next
Sorry.
summer.
Pretty
Alaska.
Yeah.
probably July, either July the 8th or July the 11th.
Of next year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
you won't get to see him.
Oh,
You won't get to see. He'll be somewhere in the mountains,
Probably in Montana.
Montana. So next year, he's
That's
going to be
all
doing the
Maybe
CDT.
another time.
Now,
So save some fun
you're
for
gonna
me,
miss out
will
on
you?
an opportunity to go hiking in
Sure.
Alaska.
What?
She promised. She has a leather shirt, or I thought it was a skirt, but it's a leather shirt.
Oh,
No,
really?
it's leather pants.
Oh, leather pants.
Ooh.
And then
Yeah.
Rob has a leather chaps, and so
No, I do not.
Right on.
I do
He
not have
does.
leather
He
chaps.
lied. But even if he did, he wasn't allowed to bring them.
yeah, wasn't allowed to bring it. Okay.
Dad, blame it, woman. You can't tell me if I want to wear assless chaps, I'll do it. I just don't
You
want
would
to.
get thrown overboard.
Probably.
Like I said, any other questions you have about the trail, or that we can answer for you?
Couple things that stand out about the
Well,
trail.
Are
So
you
when
gonna?
are you
Are you
going
guys
home?
gonna do it again?
Are we going home?
No, when are you going
Are you
home?
going?
I don't know. Now that I know that there's a tree waiting for me, I ain't in no big hurry. So, but yeah, we were nice enough. Silverback knows a hotel owner from Kentucky, and he reached out to him and said, "Hey, how about getting me a free room when I'm done with the AT?"
Like, sure.
And so he said, "Sure." So he put us up in a Hampton Inn tonight. Nice hotel.
Clean.
So
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah. It's
That's
always
great.
good to know people in high places like you guys.
I don't know if we're high
I don't
places or
know.
not, but we're high
I don't
places.
know if we
Now we still got these two guys. Need trail names.
we're
We're gonna think about it.
We're gonna think
Yeah, be
about
thinking
it.
about
And then we'll vote on them and see what you guys think.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna pray for you guys before you get out of here, okay?
All right.
Let's thank the Lord for the
Yeah,
blessings of keeping you guys safe. I'll start it, and Robert, if Elizabeth wants to, but we'd like to pray for you guys and just thank the Lord
Well,
for
thank
the
you.
safety that He gave you. Okay, that'd be all
Well,
right.
he definitely was there.
Let's pray. Father, we
We'll
thank
do
thee,
it.
Lord, today. We thank thee for these men, their stories, Lord, and how they impacted untold numbers of people along the trail. Lord, especially as we try to find answers for these veterans, Lord, and others, first responders, and the high numbers of suicides, Lord. May we see a change in that. We want to thank you, Lord, even through different difficulties, medicals, other things, Lord, that happen. You kept them safe. They're still here. They're still full of life and sharing their stories as they move forward. Bless their families, Lord, and themselves as they go into the next part of their journey. We just want to thank you, Lord. It's been a real blessing to be a part of this. In Christ's name, I pray. Rob.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many blessings that you give us every day, many of them that we don't even know about. We thank you for keeping these men safe. We wish them, and we ask you to bless all their endeavors going forward, whether it be walking for a cause, helping the youth, going home and cutting up pecan trees, whatever it is, bless them and keep them safe and keep them close to your heart. Miss Elizabeth?
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day, Lord. We ask that you let us be a guiding light unto whatever you have us do, Lord. And we ask that, you bless these men in whatever they do going forward. And Lord, we ask that anybody that's contemplating suicide today, Lord, that you put someone in their path, Lord. And, we just pray for our nation, Lord. We pray for Charlie Kirk's family, Lord, today. And the time going forward, that they lay him to rest. We pray for his wife and his children. In the few, coming months, weeks, Lord. And we ask all these things in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, guys.
Miss Elizabeth
y'all.
brought up something in her prayer that about the individual that was killed. We come in off the trail and we have been gone for several, sometimes a week between coming into towns, and we just, we keep seeing these damn flags flying at half staff, and that it just has gotten to where it sucks.
It does.
And I mean, we were talking earlier today that what we need to take the politicians out on the trail with us, because
yes,
if we can get them out on the trail and I think the trail teaches you how to be a much better person.
Teach you patience. Patience also.
He Silverback is definitely kept me a little bit. He's made me a better person walking with him.
He's made me a better person too.
And we kind of have a thing that he knows when I'm kind of getting pushed to the edge by somebody, and he'll say, "Hey, Dog Tag, you having a good day?" And it's my clue that I need to calm down, count to 10, back off a little bit. And, we need everybody needs somebody like that in their life, that can kind of recognize when you're getting to a boiling point, and you need to say, "Hey, are you having a good day today?" And it just needs to be your personal reminder that, oh, wait a minute, what I'm doing, I'm gonna, one of the other things that happened today, I think I mentioned to you guys before, I may not have mentioned to you, but probably the hardest day for me on the trail was my birthday. And I just was not having a good day walking. And I ended up walking with one of the other hikers from Ambassador's group. His trail name was Second Chance. And he walked with me the entire day. And I kept trying to get Second Chance to go into camp ahead of me, because I said, "Hey, I don't want them to do anything nice for me on my birthday." He goes, "Oh, Dog Tag, you if somebody wants to do something nice for you, you need to let them do it. Nah, I just don't want to celebrate my birthday, And so he goes, what are they going to do? They're out here on the Appalachian Trail. How are they going to, celebrate your birthday? I said, they'll find a way. Trust me. And so he didn't walk in early. He and I both walked into camp together. And when we walked in, we kind of got met by one of the biggest groups I had at one of the shelters. There had to be 12, maybe more people. And they all come storming me with, I didn't know what it was at the time, but it had a candle on it. And they were singing happy birthday to me. And, they were just saying, blow the candle out, dog tag, blow the candle out. And I just basically, those weren't the words that I won't tell you the words that I used, but they weren't kind words. And I turned around and walked out of camp. And we have been talking with other people here on the trail that when somebody wants to do something nice for you and you refuse it, you're stealing their blessing. That they're blessing you with something nice. And if you refuse it, you're stealing their blessing. And I had given that lecture to a couple people on trail, and Silverback had to kind of remind me that I had stole somebody's blessing that day. And the young lady that did it, Steady, was on the trail today. She came up and handed me, it was an orange crush that she had carried out onto the trail and had a candle on it and was giving it to me on my birthday. And then on the can, she wrote at the very bottom, P.S. I will carry your trash out. The can, after I drank it, she was going to carry the can out. But I felt really bad that I had stole her blessing. And it was probably about a week or so later that she and I got to hike through what they call the Wildcats together. By far, they say it's one of the toughest miles on the trail. After doing Katahdin, I don't necessarily believe the Wildcats. I mean, they were a tough section, but the Katahdin was much harder. But the day I got to hike with Steady, I apologized to her because I told her, I says, I stole your blessing, and I'm sorry I stole your blessing. And, when somebody offers to do something nice for you, I can't tell you how many times when I've offered to do something for people on the trail and they go, oh, you don't have to do that. Or, if you want to do that, and I was saying I wouldn't have offered it if I didn't want to do it, And then lo and behold, on my birthday, I went and slammed it in their face, and I was terrible about it. A lot of people would run into me on the trail after that, and they'd say, "Oh, you're dog tag. We've heard about you." And I always worried that the part they heard about was not the good things that I had been doing, but the one bad thing I had done on my journey. And they always would say, "No, it's all the great things that you're doing on the trail, blah blah blah." And but it always made me worry that the things that people were going to remember me for on the trail was the one day that I showed my big butt.
I disagree.
So
that might change your trail name. You got to be careful with that.
No, I think I told you, I don't know if I told you guys this. If I didn't have dog tag as a trail name, my trail name would be SAW, SAW. And it would have stood for slow ass walker, because that's what I am. I'm a slow walker. But yeah,
he's come a long way.
Yeah.
He really has.
Yeah. So,
and I saw it. I could see the difference.
Who, out of the three of y'all, who's the fastest walker?
Well, that's kind of, they're pretty equal. Ambassador, the trail has taken a toll on him, probably more so than the other two of us, because he's actually put feet on 2,200 miles, where Silverback, he can roll now, but remember, he hasn't been carrying a pack for several weeks and probably a month or plus. So, but I think together those two guys probably would walk as quick together. They're pretty comparable to each other. So I don't know. You guys feel differently about that, or? Dad says he can keep up with son.
Well, the secret is probably those huge feet.
Yeah, it's those feet.
Well, when I
4 inches on it, right?
Well, when I first saw him in New York, he was wearing these shoes. Were they 15s?
Yeah,
They were 15s, but they also had this huge footprint that when you'd see them, you'd think that you could probably ski on these things, that they were so big.
Don't believe it.
And then because the tread started to fall off of him, the more he walked on them, he ended up getting a new pair of shoes, and he went down to a 14.
Right.
But
I bet this guy got free meals all the way up and down the trail. He'd walk in and
well,
show them shoes off.
I will tell you, Dave, I've been the recipient of a couple of his free meals because we've gone to a couple diners together. He definitely has a serious gift of gab when it comes to women. One of the things that I love about this guy, the first thing that he always asks when we meet people is, "What's your name?" He likes to know people's names.
The first name.
Their first name.
I do word association. I can remember them better than trail name.
And so he always asks their names. And so I remember one day when we were somewhere, I don't know where it was, but he and I were bouncing up the trail in the car, and we came across this little diner on the side of the road. And I go, "Hey, you want to go eat breakfast? We won't tell the rest of the crew," And so we decide we're going to go into this little diner and have breakfast. And we go in there, and there's this nice young lady that was serving us. And you could tell that she was probably not having the best day.
Yeah.
And he's talking to her, talking nice to her. He tells her all about his book that he wrote. And so she goes and gets her phone, and because he has a little card of his book, and he lets people take a picture of it, so that's the way they can remember his book. And so she pulled her phone out, and when she pulled it out, she had this picture of these 3 little girls on her thing. She goes, "Oh, these are my girls." Now she had no wedding ring on, so we're assuming that she's a single parent. And so we eat this phenomenal breakfast. Some of these back road diners, are just incredible. The food there is just incredible. This morning when we went to the Appalachian Trail Cafe, really good food. But this young lady, she comes and I says, "Ma'am, can you bring us the ticket?" She goes, "Oh, your ticket's been taken care of." And I go, "Well, who took care of our ticket? Can we thank them?" And she goes, "Well, me and the other waitress, we took care of your ticket." When she heard about what he had done and what I was doing on the trail with the dog tags, they wanted to buy us, breakfast. And, it just, people.
No. It was in shoes, man. That was just a nice way to say it, man.
It may have been.
That was a nice way to say it.
Big dirty.
Yeah. But, it's just.
I'm just kidding.
It's been a great experience.
Yes, I'm gonna miss it.
What was it? Did she tell you her name was Single?
What? Who was?
Did the waitress tell you her name was Single?
No, she did not. She did not, but she was really nice. And I'll tell you, there was a, and I want to say it's a country song or a Hallmark movie that I saw somewhere, where it talks about this waitress working in a cafe someplace, and she's working Christmas Eve because she doesn't have a lot of money, and somebody tips her $100 bill. And so Silverback and myself both had given her $5 each. We gave her, because we kind of felt bad that she was giving up her money to pay for our meals. And so then before we left the diner, I went into the bathroom, and, of course you do some of your best thinking while you're on the privy. And I pulled a $50 bill out and I folded it up so it looked like another $5 bill. And I walked out and I said, and I can't remember her name,
I don't either.
but I asked her to come over and I said, "Hold your hand out." So she held her hand out like this. I said, "No, turn it over." And so she turned it over. And then I put this $50 bill in her hand, and then I walked out the thing. And I, not that I was trying to toot my own horn or whatever, but it just, to me, it gave me a great feeling knowing that, she was willing to give up some of her own money to buy the two of us a meal.
Yeah.
you know? And so when we left, it made me feel good that I had given her something back, you know? And that was just one of a couple times he has smooth talked us into we, you know, he always wants to toot my horn and then I want to toot his horn. And by tooting each other's horns, people learn a lot about our stories. And, you know, it was funny because yesterday when we were coming off of Katahdin, you know, he said, you know, because we were sitting there coming down this rock scramble. And, you know, you got this white guy and a black guy that are coming down there. And if somebody could have heard the conversation that he and I were having as we're coming down this rock scramble, and he goes, you know, this would make a great movie. So it's been fun.
It really has been. And it's tough.
It sounds like y'all have just had a ball.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Rob? It says, yes, this has taught him patience. Having to deal with me.
Big time.
So
it's all good.
You know, if I went up there hiking with you guys sometime, it would probably teach me the value of you know, humility. You know, because it's really hard for me to go through life being this good looking. I mean, I am the clickbait on this show. And it's my long flowing locks. I know what it is.
Yes, sir.
Down my back. And
5-6 days with no shower.
Right.
Yeah, it'll change up a little bit.
It will.
Well, maybe you could get one of the trail girls to braid that hair down your back. That would look pretty interesting.
I bet it would.
You would.
I'd have to
shorts.
Yeah.
Don't make it any bigger for him.
Well,
you know, it's like, you know, when I go to the beach, you see, I just went, this will make y'all jealous. Last weekend, I was at the I was at the Redneck Riviera camping. Oh. Yes, I actually went camping in a tent and everything.
Cool.
Down at St. Andrews. And I spent the weekend snorkeling and freediving. And, you know, you guys up there, it was cold up there where y'all were. It wasn't cold where I was. It's still bikini season down here.
You know, it's funny. It's funny, Rob, that Ambassador this morning when we got up, what did you say? It was 40 degrees or 30? Got down to 30. Got down to 35 last night where we were at in the woods. And he got up. We were getting in the car, and he goes, "Just think." He goes, "I'm going back to Florida where it's 90." You know, so
yeah.
So, you know,
welcome home.
Welcome home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turn on the air conditioner when you get there.
Well, and I don't know, maybe they have some stories they want to share about the trail, you know, but like I said, you know, personally, I want to thank you guys for following me, bringing attention to my fundraiser. My fundraiser currently sits at $3,200, or $3,270. I put out on Facebook, which I'm sure you saw, Dave, that, okay, I've done the 2,200 miles now. Now it's time for you to pay the penny a mile. And that's what, you know, I would ask that people, you know, if you find it in your heart to help a couple good causes, make that donation. You can go to my YouTube channel and watch my journey. You know, I'm behind about a week and a half because when we went through the 100-mile wilderness, we didn't have a whole lot of signals. And I had to conserve a lot of my batteries while going through the 100-mile wilderness area. So now that I'm back in town, I'll try and get my videos all caught up, and you know, so that people can share in some of my misery over the last couple of weeks. So, you know.
Well, we'll help put the word out on that too, from this end. And for you, you know, we love having you on. We really love watching the journey. Silverback and Ambassador, we would love to have y'all on the show anytime y'all want to. If y'all have, like, we talk about your book, and we can, there's Silverback, and you, Ambassador, we can help on whatever projects that you have going. If you want to talk about what you want to get started, whatever. y'all come on. If you just want to talk about the trail, all three of you again, y'all can be in 3 different locations. We can have you all back on here at the same time. All we got to do is get lunch.
Well, we definitely will be in 3 different locations.
I appreciate you guys.
Except for tomorrow, we're going to be driving to Washington, our wonderful nation's capital, tomorrow. It's cool.
Yeah.
So it's been a great adventure with these guys, and these are just 2 of many people that have been on the trail. That stories. That each person. You guys could be busy every night of the week for years by hearing other people's stories that are on the trail. Because the one thing that I've learned is we all 3 may have hiked Katahdin, the same mountain, but we all 3 have a different version of that climb.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
We all have a different version of the coming down off the mountain, so everybody's got a different version of their hike on the trail, each of them are unique stories, so.
Hey, one last thing before you get out of here too, and I know Dog Tag, you keep up. You may have saw it. I don't know. Rob may have saw it too. Y'all pray for George Eshelman, man. He's really struggling right now with all this going on, and he's went offline, man. He left social media. He's really upset. So say a prayer for him tonight.
Is this health reasons, or is this?
No, he's really upset with what's going on in the country, and the people bragging about death, and for a person who saw death, you don't brag about death, and he's having a hard time with that. I sincerely, y'all pray for him.
This is who he's talking about. Is the keeper. He hiked the AT. He was the one that carried the name tape.
Oh, okay.
363 name tapes, and that's who he's talking about. So,
Okay.
You can see his video on Facebook, but he said he was going offline indefinitely. So
really,
I'll just pray for him.
Well, I guess maybe I should call him and say, hey, we need to talk, because I don't need somebody like that. That's one of the first things that happens with suicide is people start to disappear from their friends and family, and you got to be the one to reach out and offer them some help.
He did encourage phone calls. He said, if you got my number, you can still call him. But he said, I'm going off he mentioned Facebook and Instagram. He said, I've had it. I've had enough. But it was alarming. So I'm just concerned about him. Might be good to call him, brother.
Well, I definitely will. And, he was a big inspiration for me on the trail.
Yeah.
And it was him that got me introduced to you guys. So I might just reach out to him and just make sure that he knows that I summited, and that he was just a huge, huge part of my journey. And I shared his story with a number of people on the AT. When they hear about me, I tell them, you need to go watch this guy's movie, because his story was incredible. So,
yes.
Sorry to hear that. I mean, I can kind of understand it, because I'll tell you, I might encourage him. All right, George, if you want to turn the world off, put your backpack on and get back on the AT. You can turn the world off while hiking the AT. You definitely don't. You lose contact with what's going on in the world, and sometimes it's a good thing. I mean, it's Silverback and I, when we went into, I think it was Munson, Maine, when we had just gotten into Maine. And we saw the flags flying at half staff. We were able to go on to our smartphones and wire the flags flying at half staff. Well, when you're out there, you usually use your phone for a couple things. I don't usually use it for news. I use it for weather, maybe to connect with family and friends, but I don't use it to go check the news out. And I would encourage George that, hey, get your pack on and get back on the trail, brother. And, if you want to tune the world out, that's a great way to tune the world out.
Absolutely.
And it might be good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, this is Ambassador, is that 2 things that stood out there on the trail is that it seemed like 1 in 5 individuals on the trail was a veteran. And you know, the first through hiker, he was a veteran that was dealing with PTSD from World War II. So
Wow.
I think it's an excellent way to get out there and resolve some issues and get some clarity and to reflect. So that's definitely a plus. But then
Amen.
also, a second thing was that I was surprised at how many foreigners and international individuals were walking the trail. We've met people from Australia, New Zealand, the UK, the Netherlands, Germany, Japan. They're all coming to the United States to walk the trail. And they're veterans as well, and but they're coming to America just to experience what we have right here in our backyard. So
That's
it's
awesome.
definitely those two things really stood out. But it's an excellent
Yeah.
opportunity to get away and experience and reflect on some things in your life.
And
Amen.
find peace out there as well.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to hike the trail, I would encourage people to look into being a trail angel. You know,
Yeah.
going out onto the trail at where the trail crosses a road, bring some snacks, drinks, whatever you want to bring, and just sit there and talk with the hikers. You know,
That's very
and
encouraging.
you know, it's just trail magic has been a real nice blessing in many ways. And Sir Stops, we met him way back in North Adams, Massachusetts. It was the night that the American Legion was going to host us for dinner, and we came walking into the restaurant, and Sir Stops was sitting there with one of his other trail buddies. And as I walked by, he goes, "Boy, they look like through hikers." And I turned around and I said, "We are." And so he came down to our table and introduced himself, says, "Hey, I'm Sir Stops. I do trail angel work along the trail. Send me a message. Let me know where you guys are at, and I'll come do dinner for you." Well, he did dinner for our tramily 4 times?
Yes, you did.
4 times after we met him in Massachusetts. And we're not talking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
No.
You know, it was cheese quesadillas. He came to one of the hostels and did dinner for us that night. He did fried chicken and hand-cut potatoes and beans. And I'm telling you, you know, some of the things that you crave most is that home-cooked meal on the trail.
Yeah.
And we were just a little disappointed, or I was. I don't know if Silverback was, but we were supposed to go into this place called A-Ball Camp. It's the end of the 100-mile wilderness. And because we had a little fluke issue with, we were trying to produce a banner that had all of the military logos on it and the American flag and these. And it was supposed to be mailed to us in Millinocket. And we found out that the package was being rerouted back to the shipper. And so we had to find a different alternate. So we went into town to do that. So instead of going to the A-Ball camp where Stops was, we went into town. Well, when we saw Stops the next day, we found out we missed fried pork chops.
Oh,
That he had cooked fried pork chops on the trail. And he told us a story of one of the hikers that he had served his pork chops to. His wife came storming up to him at one of his trail stops, and he thought he was in trouble with this woman because of, you know, he had been serving food in the area. And lo and behold, all she wanted to know was what his secret was to the perfect fried pork chop, because her husband would not stop talking about Sir Stop's fried pork chops, you know? And so, you know, guys like him, you know, he initially started doing it out of the goodness of his own heart and, you know, using his own money to do that. He has since turned what he does into a nonprofit. You know, I may even send you his information because he would have some great stories for you guys. And I don't know if he makes cornbread or not, but he makes some really good food.
I'm sure it's not like the Southern way.
He's what?
I'm sure it's not like the good Southern way.
Oh, well, he's a Southerner. He's from North Carolina, so it might be, but
Southern.
that's not South.
It's North
No.
Carolina.
Oh, well, I know it's north of
Mason.
I know it's north of Georgia, but it's south of the Mason-Dixon line, so it's
Right.
considered south.
Look,
You know,
around
we're
here, I think
northerners
it's considered
tonight.
anything.
Right.
Look,
Just
as
about
long
any
as they
place
don't buy
above the
this-
gnat line is northern.
Yes,
Shut
yeah,
up, Rob.
yeah. So, but like Ambassador says, just the incredible people that you meet on the trail. And you know, the other ironic thing is you could meet somebody way down in Georgia.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you this story that we were at the hostel just before the 100-mile wilderness, and I'm sitting there, and this young kid walks up. He's got facial hair all over, and he goes, "Hey, Dog Tag, you remember me?" And of course, you know, 6 months and facial hair growth.
Right.
I didn't know who the kid was. He goes, "You met me the second day you were on the trail," and I had he and his friend were hiking the AT. His friend had convinced him to come out and hike the Appalachian Trail. He had never once camped out in a tent when he came out onto the Appalachian Trail. Well, his friend, it was, you know, February. And so this kid, when I looked at his legs looked like chicken legs, you know, where they had been freshly plucked and all that. And I said, "Dude, you need to go buy chicken legs." Well, the buddy who I ended up meeting, 1,700 or plus miles ahead, he was still on the trail, but his friend had gotten off the trail like a week later. And so he ended up continuing up the trail. And it's just amazing how you could meet somebody so far back into your journey, and then all of a sudden, bam!
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're back in the right in the same area that you are. And I mean, with us, we kind of hiked around a lot of the same people for the last 2-3 months. But there are some people that, you know, like I said, I met these two guys when I was way back in North Carolina, and then it was up in New York when we caught back up with each other again. So,
Hey, I think I asked you this when you first started the journey, but I don't remember what you said. But since you have the other hikers there, and you were talking about that, I think that you said, remind me if I'm wrong, do any of you track like a GPS for people that are going up the trail so you can keep up where they're at any given time?
we do have that. We do have that capability. It's called an inReach device. That it's satellite based, and you can actually have that. Its app has the capability of being able to track you along the trail.
Right.
Now, do I use it? No, and I've been scolded by people for not using it because a lot of people. I have an inReach on, and it has an SOS button on it that if it's on and I push the SOS button, it sends a signal out to the satellite, and then Garmin, who monitors your devices, they will get a signal that you have activated your SOS button, and then they start trying to reach out to you. And then they reach out to your contacts that you have registered with them. And if nobody responds, they send search and rescue out because the Garmin will tell them exactly where you're at on the trail.
Yeah.
And so, yes, the capability is there. Have I used it? No. Mosey and Sour Patch were very faithful about using theirs. You can send a link to a family member, and then they can basically watch you on a map, and they can see you moving up.
Grandchildren.
Yeah. So
cool.
Silverback does use that. I don't know. Do you use the inReach? Yeah. Ambassador says he doesn't use the inReach, but I kind of had been told that one of the other functions of the inReach device is that if I go down and I
Can't reach.
and I can't activate the button, then they're going to send help. One of the ladies that did an interview on one of the podcasts about the AT, she said her kids made her carry an inReach because if she was to die on the AT, they wanted to make sure they could do a rapid recovery of her body so that they didn't have to wait 7 years to claim her as being dead. So, that's one thing is that, if you do go down and you can't activate your SOS button, it sends you out a ping to the World Wide Web, and then they come find you. It was funny because one section going through the 100-mile wilderness, it was labeled on our mapping device as rock slide, and we had to come down through it. And it's very similar to what we had to do yesterday coming down off of Katahdin. And when I look straight down and you're looking down through these rock scrambles, you can't often see where your feet have to go. And so it was one of the few times that I turned on my inReach in case I did fall, that they could recover me. And then there were these two young girls behind me. They call themselves the sisters from Ohio. And I told them, I said, hey, if I fall, will you make sure they recover my body? And their answer was, do you have your inReach turned on? And so I said, yeah, it's turned on, but some people will use it all day long, and it'll, you can send out messages through it. You can text message through the satellite. And that's how we have within our Tramily, Steady and Mosey were very religious about using their inReach. And if we hadn't heard from one of them, they would send a text to the other person. And what it does is it connects the inReach device, which is satellite based, will connect with your phone, and then it sends a text message to your phone. And so you can get weather reports through the inReach device. So if you don't have a signal for your phone, the inReach has, as long as you have you're not in a building, it'll send out a signal, and it'll, get a signal from it. So yeah, the short answer to your question is yes, there is a way to track somebody on the AT.
Who asked that question?
Dave did.
Cornbread?
Cornbread.
Yeah. Now, I do have one last question as well. I've got one last question for you as well. George Eastman in his movie The Keeper, he was talking about the haunted hostel, and I think it was one of the funniest scenes in that movie. Did y'all stay there?
No,
it's in Hot Springs, North Carolina, and it's
didn't.
the older one that's right across from the Smoky Mountain Diner.
Yeah.
No, none of us stayed at that place in Hot Springs, but it is by far one of the funniest things. So,
yeah, I definitely want to go there. I want to just spend a night there. That would be awesome.
I don't believe you, man.
Why don't you call up George and take him? Say, hey, George, let's go. I need you to show me where this hostel is. Let's go.
That's right. But he ran out of there. He's like, I'm out.
He does. That was Hollywood.
No, but he tells that that's a true story. There's many parts of that movie that are not 100% true, but he swears that part of the movie was true. That and the bear encounter.
People walking around and everything else. He said, I'm out.
Well, I got to give kudos to Ambassador. I've seen 3 moose on the trail now, but Ambassador recently got the best video so far that I've seen on the trail this year of a moose encounter. It was a male moose walking through kind of a marshy area, and he got a great video of that. Yeah. So, really cool. He's going to loan it to me so that I can post it on my YouTube channel, and I'll give him credit for it. But it was by far one of the coolest things that I've seen here on the trail. So Miss Elizabeth, you got any final question?
I'm going to ask the one I think Rob was asking earlier. Would you do it again? Any of you? Would you do this hike?
One and done, baby.
Yeah.
One and done.
For me.
I would say if any of my children ask me, hey, Pops, I want you to do this with me, I would get back out there and do it. But I think I'm more so of a section hiker. Like I want to go back and do Georgia where I'm not coughing up a lung, and I want to be able to enjoy certain parts again along the trail, certain states. So I'll do probably about a week at a time or something like that instead of 6 months,
Yeah.
And me, there's some sections that I definitely want to, that I missed after my surgery that I would like to go back and, because I've told Silverback that I kind of, everybody says, oh, you're a through hiker because you've hiked the 2,200 miles. Well, I haven't personally hiked the 2,200 miles. My dog tags have. And, but there's some sections after Maryland that I missed because of my surgery, going through Pennsylvania and, some of the other areas. the Smokies. I didn't get to do the Smokies because I was there so early in the year, and it was the time frame when I was going to have to get off trail to go do one of my medical treatments. And so I skipped over the Smokies with the plan that after I finished Katahdin, I was going to go back down there and do the Smokies. And everybody says that I definitely should go back and do the Smokies. So that's on my to-do list, is to go and hike the Smokies. Like I said, there some of the areas around in Pennsylvania, even though Pennsylvania, as I've told you before, is known as Rocksylvania, I think the whole trail should be known as Rocksylvania.
Say that again.
So, you know, because there wasn't a single section that, well, you might, there came a word on the trail that both Silverback and I used to hate to hear, when people would say, "Oh, that section's cruisy," and somebody else's definition of the word cruisy to my definition of cruisy is two totally different things. Because you'd go through these sections that people would say, "Oh, this is a cruisy section you're coming up on." There's nothing easy about the Appalachian Trail. Nothing.
And they're usually under 40 years old too.
Yeah, there's nothing easy about the Appalachian Trail. It's a great adventure. A lot of people would tell us or have told us, "Oh, I wish I was able to do that." Well, anybody's able to do it. You just got to throw a pack on and get out and do it. And the big thing that I would say is, if you do it, start slow. Don't do big miles. A lot of the people, my tag number when I started the Appalachian Trail was 151. When I finished, my tag number going northbound to Katahdin, I was number 510. So 400, roughly 400 people passed me. But look how late we are in the season right now. We're, I think I told you guys when we originally started this, about a fourth of the people who start the journey will actually finish it. And there's probably been 2,000 to 3,000 people sign up this year. And we're only in the 500s right now of people who have actually completed the trail.
And the trail gets really thin when you get way up north there. You don't see a lot of people.
Wow. But it's been a pleasure talking with you guys. And like I said, Rob, you need to text me your address so I can send you your Bigfoot shirt.
I will do it.
When I saw it, it made me think of you. And I says, "Oh, I finally found Rob's Bigfoot," and it's here in Maine,
Bigfoot? Is it a bald-headed Bigfoot? That would be awesome. Is he bald-headed?
Bald-headed Bigfoot. Hey, I'll see a pair of my shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can wear them on Friday nights.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a Bigfoot wig.
Uh-oh.
Well, like I said, I will share your information with these two guys. They would be great additions to your shows, and to do interviews with them.
Absolutely.
And they probably know other people that, you could eventually, interview a lot of hikers about their journey on the trail. And like, I think you'll find that every person, they hiked the same places, but they all had different understanding and views of what they experienced.
Yeah.
So
that's cool, man. Thanks so much. Y'all are a blessing.
Thank you.
We thank you for the opportunity tonight. I'm just glad. I would have loved to have had the rest of the family in the videos. Steady is she proposed to her fiance on the top of Katahdin yesterday. So she had been doing a video every 500 miles. She would do a picture of the ring, and she did a video with the song I would walk 500 miles. And so she did that every 500 miles. She did a little picture of where the ring was, and so she showed her that video up on top of the mountain. And so she goes, why are you proposing? We've already agreed to get married. But she just, it was important to her. Mosey and Sour Patch, they Sour Patch had retired from the Army recently, and the AT was his first journey after retirement. They are now we took them to the airport this morning to get a rental car. They are now spending some time up in Maine with Mosey's sister, and then they're gonna drive across the country. They want to see a lot of the national parks in the country. So
cool.
everybody's heading in different directions. Kind of a tough thing when you say goodbye to people. After you've been pretty much hanging out with them day after day. It was like me in the fire service. I spent more time sometimes with the firefighters of my station than I did it with my own family at home. And that's kind of what the AT was for a lot of us, that we have come to know each other probably better than some of their own family know them,
Wow.
Well, this ain't goodbye. It's just we're going to see each other again soon. So,
yes, sir. And I'll come in and watch your show because I love watching the show.
we appreciate that, and
I'm still waiting for my Southern Fried Podcast T-shirt or hat.
We're going to send it to you. I will.
Okay.
And yeah, I think when we first had you on, I don't even know if you knew who we were.
No, I did not. George was the one that told me about you guys, and he says, "Hey, these guys do a great podcast. You should go do a show." And I think I reached out to you and said, "Yeah, I'd love to." I mean, I was looking for any way that I could promote my cause, And I mean, I hope one day to get down to Georgia and have some dinner or cornbread with you guys, and who knows, maybe Miss Elizabeth, if you do plan this cruise next year, it might be a good reason for me to get away.
Yes, do it.
Go hang.
Hey,
We'll get
gravy biscuit.
Gravy biscuit.
We gotta know our friends behind you. How do they do their gravy biscuit? We gotta know that.
No, they want to know what's the question? How do you word it? Do you break up the biscuit or do you leave it whole? Gravy and biscuit.
Crumple it up.
I'll leave mine whole.
Here's the question. When you have gravy and biscuits, do you open your biscuits and lay them flat and put the gravy over it? Or do you tear your biscuits apart and then pour the gravy over it?
Or do you leave it whole as one solid biscuit?
Pour the gravy over.
No, that's not
That
the
would be
option.
acceptable.
That's not an option.
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
They've been doing it the not option way.
Pour it over.
They just pour it over a biscuit. One of the things that Silverback and I, when we got up here in the Northeast, we'd go to these cabins, these cafes and places, and we'd eat dinner, and they offered strawberry shortcake, and it just sounded so good, because we both kind of thought the cake part of the strawberry shortcake should be a cake.
Right.
Up here, they use biscuits. They use biscuits.
Yes.
And it's just not the same.
No. You should use angel food
That should never
There you go. I agree, Miss Elizabeth. That's what we were kind of looking for. But we went to two different places and asked for the strawberry shortcake, and both of them up here in the Northeast,
that's why
they were biscuits.
The people in the North don't know what they do, and they don't know how to cook good Southern food.
There ain't but two things that go on biscuits. Well, three things: sausage, jelly, or sausage, butter, and gravy. That's it. That's all you ever need on a biscuit.
One of the things that Silverback just wanted me to mention is up here in Maine, we keep seeing these. Well, we saw along the road, you see these signs says campwood. Well, we call it firewood, but up here they call campwood. And I had to educate him in the fact that all these homes on the lakes up here in Maine, they don't call them cabins. They call them camps.
Right.
And so it's been an education. When you talk to people, they said that they're headed to their camp. We assume that they're talking about a place they've got a tent or something, but no, it's a cabin in the woods. But up in Maine, they don't call them cabins; they call them camps. So
let me.
It's a tent.
Ooh. let me go ahead and throw this out there. As a true Southerner who has seen the movie Deliverance, I would have run screaming from someplace advertising Camp Wood. I would have ran screaming. You would have heard me all the way down the AT getting away from there because that would have just terrified me.
So I got a funny story. So I was in Tennessee, and you know, I have a big knife because you know everybody wanted me to carry a weapon in the woods, and so my brother said, "Hey, if anybody start playing the banjo," he said, "Hey, look, you might just need to pull your knife out and just start cleaning your knife and just looking at everybody, right?" So in Tennessee, you have to stay in the shelter with everybody. So we in a shelter, it's cold, it gotta be about 30 degrees. We start a fire, and someone starts playing a banjo. And my first thought was like, okay, I'm about to pull my knife out, start cleaning my knife, just looking at people. But I had to do that. But it crossed my mind when they pulled that banjo out, and I got to record it. I got to record it, just you know, playing the banjo and the fire going. So it do happen. It does happen.
Yeah, every Southern man ever since that movie says, "I will not be Ned Beatty. I will not be Ned Beatty."
Let me ask you, what was the music? It wasn't. Was it like this? Was it dun 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 dun?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that.
Okay, then you safe. Then you
So I'm
safe.
saying, okay, all right.
Then you
I'm
safe.
a big guy, so it would have took a couple of them. It would have took a couple of them.
Ooh, honey,
We're
will
small
you
like me.
try?
Oh, and the thing I didn't tell you about Ambassador, he's a former Ranger from the Army.
That's what I was gonna say. With his training, he probably knows how to take people out with a toothpick and a hairpin.
That's disarming bombs.
Hey, but you know, a town called Franklin, North Carolina,
Yeah, Franklin, North Carolina.
they filmed part of that
That sounds
movie
scary.
on the river.
I hate
That's a
that
scary
movie.
place too.
I
Yeah,
hate that.
And a lot of people in that
hope-
area don't like the idea that movie was filmed
They
there
don't.
because
It gives them bad
they gives them a bad reputation about that area.
beautiful place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
can
hope Ned
understand.
Beatty fired his agent after that movie.
Yeah.
That had to be the hardest role ever played. He had the
I know.
hardest part.
Yeah. Well.
Oof.
All right.
All right,
Well,
guys.
we've tormented you guys for almost 2 hours.
Nice
so
picture.
you know,
Yeah.
great picture. You know that picture. Somebody Silverback posted it on the 2025 Facebook page, and one of the hikers that follows that page turned that into a cartoon like drawing, and it's pretty nice. So,
Not
All
bad at
right.
all.
and one of the pictures I didn't send to you is of these two guys standing on top of that sign together. And just as they're up there standing on top together, a big black cloud hung over the top of them. And it was pretty funny to see.
Hey,
You know?
tell them I'm coming. The hell's coming with
Honey.
us.
Yeah. Well, it's been great. And thank you again for letting me come on tonight and letting me bring a couple of my other hikers. And, you know, always have fun with you guys. So I'm going to get down south one day and we'll have to all meet someplace in the central and, you know, find someplace that serves cornbread and maybe some other Southern foods.
Honey, if you come to
Absolutely.
Georgia, I'll cook you some cornbread.
Oh, wait. I'll be down there. I'll be down there.
Come
You know,
on.
maybe I can get you to go to the top of the mountain with me.
If we drive.
if you drive. If you drive.
Oh, look at this. Already offering to take you for a while.
I agree. That's the way. This is the only way I want to see the top of a mountain for a while right now. Even though I have some incredible views from going up those mountains,
I know.
you know. And when you get to the top of them, you know, the views are there. The only thing that I hate is the fact that I got to go down. You know, it got to be where I would not mind walking up the mountain, especially when I knew there was going to be a great view. But when I knew that I had to come down the other side, that maybe that's a lesson in life, you know, about when we climb to the top of some of our journeys, the journey's really not over, you know.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
well,
Absolutely.
thank you again. We appreciate it. I have a shower in line for me because I haven't showered in a couple days, and so you know I'm going to take advantage of this hotel. It's nice. So keep us in your prayers because until we're home, we're not safe. You know, and even when you're home, you're not safe. But you know, keep bringing the great shows, and you know, I look forward to continuing to follow you guys. So
thank you, brother. Thank you.
Look
So
forward
much.
to continue having y'all on
Well,
too. You
yes,
guys
we
don't
look
forget
forward
to
to
send us
seeing
your
all
email.
of you again.
All right, we'll do.
who do you look forward to?
All
His
right.
shoes again, Miss Elizabeth? Is that
No,
what you
that's
said?
not what I said.
I didn't. I
I'll send
couldn't.
you a couple
said-
pictures.
We look forward to seeing all three of you again.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All righty.
Hey, Silverback, I am thinking about, and I've been considering this for a while, starting an OnlyFans page just for foot pics. I'll take pictures of my feet. If you'll come down, we'll take some pictures of yours too and put them on there.
Where's his boot? Go get your boot and show him your shoe, man. Go get that boot, man. That boot is
don't believe him.
it's twice as big as my hand.
Y'all
Only
have got Miss Elizabeth beside herself.
Big feet, big shoes and big gloves means is big feet and big hands.
Big hands.
That's
Is
what
that why
big
you
shoes
blushing
and big,
right now?
big that's what big shoes and big feet mean.
Okay, Miss Elizabeth. Is that a preference of yours? Big hands?
No,
Older than your son, but gotta have big hands?
no,
Okay.
Not really.
All right.
no. You missed what I said. The whole thing.
Oh, you know, I'm a typical man though. I only hear what I want to hear.
I know. I know. I said the only thing big shoes and big gloves mean is that you wear big shoes, you have big feet and big hands.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it means.
That's all it means.
That's all it means.
That's
You're
all
right.
it means, right?
I
Okay.
got you.
That's all it
And
means.
big socks. Yeah, I'm tracking.
And big socks.
Yeah, big socks.
Yes, ma'am. Big socks.
Yeah.
I'm
It
tracking.
don't mean nothing
Yeah.
about the size down there.
No, it does not.
We got the wrong memo.
That's right. Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
I think a lot of women got the wrong memo. Honey,
Is that
Sorry,
why
we
you
took this
blushing?
conversation a weird way, Dave. It was not my fault. That was Miss Elizabeth's fault.
no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was y'all's fault. Y'all started.
We
I'm
started it.
finishing it.
Well,
All right. Till we meet again. God bless you.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And thank you for the prayers, and it's greatly appreciated. And
Yes.
it's been a great pleasure. And all of your followers, they can continue to. We didn't mention, but Silverback does have a YouTube channel as well,
I do.
and it's called Silverback Walks the AT, and so they can watch. And one of the things, you know, one of the things I didn't tell you, but we were talking about today, there's a lot of things that we've learned on the trail here. And one of them, he's learned how to edit videos.
Yes.
And now
Thanks to this
does
gentleman.
he does some incredible videos now. And it's been nice.
I'm still learning.
It's been nice hiking with him because it's hard to get videos of me hiking when I'm the one doing the videos. And so, you know, he's hiked, taking pictures of me. I've taken pictures of him,
It's been a blessing.
And the other thing is we've learned how to do a quick share on your phone. I don't know if you guys know what
Oh,
that is,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
but when, neither of us knew how to do it.
No.
And we were sending all the pictures back and forth to each other via messenger or via email. And then somebody says, why aren't you doing it by quick share? And we didn't know what they were talking about. So we have since learned how to do that. And you can sit there and exchange photos and videos very quickly if you have the same types of phones. So,
right.
Yeah.
so yeah.
We said you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
You can
Well,
sometimes.
We live that every day around here. Now, silverback, is that 2 words?
What was your YouTube? He's trying to look up your YouTube.
Oh, it's under Anthony Roddy, Roddy. Silverback out or walking.
Yeah.
Walking the AT.
Walking the silverback, walking the AT. Are you looking for his shoes? Is that what you're looking for, Rob?
No, not yet.
My name. He's looking.
So I got Anthony Roddy out for a walk.
That's me. That's the name of the book.
How to Walk Across America.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in there.
That's his book that he wrote. So,
and it's a 3-minute video in there too. That somebody interviewed me with.
Okay. Well, there you are.
No.
I've got Anthony L. Roddy, and we've got a subscriber. Could make it easier to find us too. And there you are, Silverback walking the Appalachian Trail.
That's it.
Okay.
That's a couple of them. I don't have a
Oh,
lot.
we got you.
Right on, right
Hey.
on.
You got a subscriber anyway. You'll probably pick up a few more. Ha.
did you want to
All
tell
right.
him you have one or
I don't have.
You have one too?
Yeah, and Ambassador
Okay.
says he doesn't have one, but he's doing some fundraising
Yes,
out
he
here
is.
too. And when you guys interview him, please ask about that. And just
Ambassador,
Just
do you have a Facebook?
Yes, I have it's a personal, it's under Barry B. Farmer.
All right, give me just a second. I got to get to my friends thing here so I can add you. And I'm sorry. Sometimes my nights run a little.
Big time. Big time.
Okay, sorry. I have I'm epileptic, and it's been a long day, and I'm trying to give me just a minute here.
Take your
you're
time.
doing great, Bob, man.
That's right, man. God gives us 24 hours, man.
Yeah, that's his statement.
That's
He always
right.
do. God gives us
24
24 hours,
We just got to slice it up and eat it and how we want to eat it.
But also, you have to be getting your
I gotta
email
find
address
my-
as well.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if I have you guys' email. I don't know what Rob was going to say, but I think I have Rob's email. I'm not sure if I have yours, Dave.
I'll send it to you, brother.
But if you want to send it to me, and then I'll make sure I share it with these two guys. And
Right.
like I
Yeah.
said, you'd have a fun time with them, chatting with them as much as you've chatted with me. So, and especially Silverback getting ready to do the CDT, and you guys can get a whole different vision of
Yeah.
another long trail of
That'll
America.
be recorded and stuff.
So,
Sounds good, brother. I'll send that tonight.
all right.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, you
All
take
right,
care.
so there we go. Now, looking for. Okay, Ambassador, what was yours again?
Barry Barry B
Okay.
as in Bravo, Farmer Farmer.
Yeah, I got it. Good deal.
Okay. All right,
All right,
gentlemen.
it's been a pleasure.
Miss Elizabeth, you're an
Hey,
angel.
our
Take
pleasure.
care of these two guys.
That's right. Keep them
So-
straight. Keep them lined up.
And we look forward to one day getting that Southern meal if we come down there.
That's right.
You just
So-
know.
So what is your specialty, Miss Elizabeth?
I
All
don't-
Southern women have a specialty. Come
I
on.
cook just about anything.
Oh,
I don't believe that.
But you know how to cook cornbread, though, right?
I do. I can cook soups. I can cook on the grill. I can cook I really can cook about anything.
Okay. All right.
Now remember, I'm in Jacksonville.
And
Yeah.
Rob, you're going to hook up with
Okay.
Ambassador.
You just what is it? A hip no, what a hop,
Hop,
skip and a jump away.
jump. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can top skip and jump for me now. Oh,
Hey,
I'm
Miss
fan.
Elizabeth, Miss
Oh.
Elizabeth,
Yes, sir.
how did you get hooked up with these two guys?
Well, I've known Rob for several years, and after they started doing the podcast, he called me and he said, he said that they were doing the podcast and they needed somebody, they needed a mama for
Yeah.
mama.
Oh,
And asked me if I'd come on. I said, sure.
I don't think they should have said, Rob, you shouldn't have said we need a mama. We need a big sister to come on to
Well, he
or a
No,
little sister
no,
or a little
on-
sister.
On Monday night, our show is called Mama Said. And me and
Mhm.
David were hosting a show called Mama Said. We needed a mama.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I get it. I get it. All righty.
Now, she looks like our little sister.
Yes.
The mama for Mama Said looks like our little sister. So it'll be all right.
Right on.
All righty.
Thank you guys for joining in with us. And
Well, it's
I
been
really
fun.
appreciate all that y'all done on this trip.
Been fun,
So,
and
yeah.
I'll share more pictures with you, Dave, and or you can follow on Facebook, and you're welcome to share any of them that you like.
Thank you so much.
And, you all
Yeah.
take care.
Y'all be safe on your travels.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I look forward to y'all coming back on.
They were talking about the fact that if you look at the camera, it looks like these two black shadows behind me.
Yes.
When they lean forward, there's more light, but when they're behind back, I'm sure you all noticed that.
Well, we can see the glowy beard there. If Silverback comes forward just a little bit, the glowy silver beard kind of sticks out. You got to hold your head up just a little bit more. You can see it start glowing there. As it comes forward. Oh, there it is.
I guess I could have turned the, I don't know, the spotlight. No, this one doesn't do it. All right. We're out of here.
Good night.
As I say on my trail, dog tag out.
Peace out.
Peace out, guys.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Well, that was a good show. But you know what? We have run long on our show, and I'm ready for coffee. Dave, we didn't have a coffee break.
What? You can't take one?
Well, I could have, but that wasn't what the breakout hook was. And I was trying to get back real quick.
I got a full pot. I've never drank it.
That's something wrong with that. Mr. Elizabeth, thank y'all thank you for being here. Dave, love you, brother. Y'all got anything y'all want to say before we skedaddle too?
Nah, I'm good.
I'm good.
I think I'm good too. Hey, everybody, we love y'all. God bless you. Big old salute. Thank you for Dog Tag and Silverback and Ambassador being on here with us tonight. And we will see y'all. Dave will see you over the weekend. Me and Dave will see you Monday morning. Me and Miss Elizabeth see you Monday at noontime.
Yes.
So y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy it. I got to find the song. There it is. All right. Love y'all. God bless you. See you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.